special shower for this. Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry to hold you up. We have a series of announcements, some very important documents to sign, and some comments to make. I'm joined by City Council President Darrell, Clarke, who you will hear from in a second, Steve Johnson, Executive Vice President of American Airlines, Mark Yale, CEO, Philadelphia International Airport. I think he is not here because I haven't seen Alan Greenberger, who's the Deputy Mayor for Economic Development, but he has done his part. I'll explain that a little later. A couple other folks in the audience that I want to make mention of. Everyone here has played a significant role in where we are today, and of course tomorrow is the start of the next fiscal year and also the start of this particular agreement that we're talking about here today. First and foremost, I want to recognize, I think, is Daisy Cruz from SEIU. Thank you. And he is, I think, is not here, but a person I spent a fair amount of time with in this regard is Gabe Morgan and Andy Perez. Thank you both. We have a number of folks from the building trades industry, and again, I just did a very quick scan of the room, so if I miss you, you know I love you. Ryan Boyer, Local 332, Ryan and Sam Staten Jr., thank you. Two folks who I'm pretty sure are not here because you always know when they're in the room, but played a significant role in today's effort, both Pat Gillespie and John Doherty. I want to thank both of them for their work in this capacity, please. Pat Eiding and Tony Wigglesworth, thank you both very, very much. Bill Hankowski and Rob Wonderling, thank you both very, very much. Thank you. I know we have a bunch of folks here from our hospitality and tourism sector, kind of in a grand thank you. And the work that you do is certainly significantly impacted by our ability to get folks from wherever their point A is to our point B and back home. Hospitality and tourism, significant industries, of course, for the city of Philadelphia. Philadelphia International Airport is, in fact, the economic engine for all of southeastern Pennsylvania. This is an important and significant moment for all of us. Today, let me also, I know that Brian Mattingly is here from Delta. Thank you very, very much. And if there are other airlines that are represented, again, thank you all. This is 20-plus organizations that provide high-quality service and allow people to get across the country and around the world. And we want to thank all of you for your support. Today is certainly a wonderful day for our city and our region and the tri-state area. Any measure that improves services for travelers and employees at Philadelphia International Airport certainly has a ripple effect of benefits for our residents, our businesses, and the entire economy. In just a moment, Council President Clarke and I will do our respective parts to sign legislation that was approved by Philadelphia City Council, approving the new use and lease agreement between and among the city, which owns Philadelphia International Airport, and our airline partners. This new 5-year agreement, which also includes options for 2 one-year extensions, will be effective tomorrow, July 1st, and when combined with previous agreements, has an estimated value of between $2.8 and $4.1 billion in new and current commitments. These funds will allow Philly International Airport to continue to fund projects to enhance and modernize our operations as we continue to provide effective and efficient service to the more than 30 million passengers who travel annually through our airport to more than 130 destinations around the world. Philadelphia International Airport is, as I mentioned earlier, the true economic engine for economic growth. It generates an estimated $14.5 billion in spending for the regional economy and accounts for more than 140,000 jobs. Our major sectors of eds, meds, and hospitality and tourism, and the growing startup and tech communities depend on efficient and cost-effective air travel. Philadelphia is, in fact, a world-class city. We already know that. And we continue to demonstrate to the world, and they'll see a fair amount of us, of course, in September, when Pope Francis comes to Philadelphia and the World Meeting of Families, and certainly next year when Philadelphia is the host of the Democratic National Convention. As a world-class city, we deserve a world-class airport. In fact, a world-class airport is a must for a city with growing global aspirations. This new agreement will allow us to continue working with our airline partners to make the necessary infrastructure improvements and create an attractive international gateway that reflects and defines the city's vision, mission, and core values. These values, I'm proud to say, include paying a living wage to airline contracted employees who work at Philadelphia International Airport. They've worked hard, they deserve it. Please recognize them one more time. And we are all very proud to say that these workers will begin earning $12 an hour starting tomorrow, July 1st, 2015. To all of these employees, we thank you for your service, and we want you to know how much your work is deeply appreciated. When you interact with the traveling public, you create that first impression of our great city. Your hospitality makes a huge difference in how people see us and experience us. To the airlines, all of them, and certainly our hub carrier, American, I want to extend the city's appreciation for your vote of confidence in our city and our region. Your continued investment in the airport reflects the strong relationship that exists between and among us. I particularly want to recognize the leadership role that American Airlines has played in reaching common ground on the important terms of this new use and lease agreement, which will take us into the year 2020 and possibly to 2022. Shortly, you'll be hearing from American Airlines Executive Vice President Steve Johnson. Before introducing Steve and Mark, of course, let me introduce City Council President Darrell Clarke.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. How's everyone doing today? This is a great day. It seems like a series of great days that we've been having lately, almost probably only being surpassed by the President of the United States in terms of good days. But I just want to say that how excited I am to be here today. Obviously, there were a lot of people that played significant and key roles in making sure that we got to be here today. I want to thank the mayor and his team and who have worked on this initiative for some time that brings us to the culmination of this particular signing today. I want to thank my colleagues who, frankly speaking, did most of the work behind the scenes, but as the council president, I get to stand here. So I want to thank them because they have been diligent. They've been working real hard and making sure that we got to the point where we can get a consensus. And I want to thank all of the staff because, as the mayor and my colleagues know, that the reality is it takes staff members and the support staff, be it legal, dealing with the budget aspect of all of these deals that really make these things happen. So I want to thank them very much for their support, both at the airport, at the airlines, and all of the staff that has been supportive. I just want to highlight one particular individual. I know he's going to kill me for this. My good friend, my chief staff attorney, Mr. John Christmas, as the gentleman. He didn't know I was going to ask him to be here today, so he wore his pink pants and it's all good. It's all good. But we like to call him the closer. So, and thanks, John. Thank you so much. And so today is a great day. Every now and then, as elected officials, we experience a time when everybody's on the same page at the end of the day, and you do something that's actually special. I mean, we've had a series of successes, but this is special. and it creates a level of stability that allows not only the industry, but allows the city to grow at a point where we will far surpass this whole notion of us being the next great city. We are the great city, right? We're not the next great city. So to the mayor and the industry and all of the people that participated, my colleagues, I just want to commend everyone who has played whatever role they did in this. More importantly, making sure that our good friends, the people that we represent on a daily basis, the workers at an airport, there's like more than 2,000 folks out there, Mayor, we had 2,000 individuals who can now raise their families on a wage that will go up at some point, but right now to be able to stand here and say that $12 an hour after having such a long fight to get to that point, I want to thank you guys so much for being patient and working for me. DJ, 32. So to everyone, I want to thank you all so much for your participation. I want to tell you how proud I am to not only be an American, but how proud I am to be a member of the City Council of Philadelphia and the great city of Philadelphia. So thank you so much for all your great work.
Mr. President, I actually meant to do this when I was up earlier. Let me just, for the recognition, certainly thank Councilman Squilla, Councilman Greenlee, Councilwoman Blackwell, Councilman Johnson, Councilman Heenan, Councilman Good. I think I've covered all those. John Saylor, thank you so much. Joan Stern, and certainly Alan Kessler. What we're going to do now, the President and I are going to sign the bill. I'm going to come back. Steve Johnson is going to speak on behalf of American, and then he and Mark Gale are going to do their part with regard to the actual use and lease agreement. Mr. President, you know, we agree 99.9% of the time, but I do want to make mention, I mean, given the fashion plate that John Christmas is, I am sure that he would actually say that his pants are not pink, Mr. President, they are actually salmon. Right? Agree with the President. This is bill number 150531.
Authorizing the Director of Commerce to enter into lease agreements between the city and each of the airlines servicing Philadelphia International Airport under certain terms and conditions. All right.
This is the first time we've had a joint. This is the first time we've had a joint bill signed. It is signed.
All right.
And so with that, on behalf of the City of Philadelphia and certainly Philadelphia International Airport, Mark Gale, our CEO, let me now ask Steve Johnson, Executive Vice President, American Airlines. We've gotten to know certainly Steve and Rhett and Mike and the whole team at American and all of our all of our carriers out at Philadelphia International Airport very, very well. This has been a long time in coming. What I will say is that the focus for American has always been to make sure that Philly International, PHL, is a great airport and provides great service. The issues that we often get into, and whether it's about wages or investments, those kinds of things, those are the day-to-day things that just happen in the normal course of business. But the focus and the commitment from years gone by, the subsequent merger of U.S. Airways and American, which our administration strongly supported, the getting the right personnel out at Philadelphia International to deal with any number of challenges that our customers faced over the past number of years. All of those issues, all of those efforts have really been driven by Steve and Doug Parker and that team from day one. And so on behalf of the City of Philadelphia, I want to certainly say, Steve, and please take back to Doug and the rest of the team our deep appreciation for the commitment, the support, the focus, and ultimately getting things done and getting them done the right way. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm Philadelphia welcome, Steve Johnson, Executive Vice President, American Airlines.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. Doug and the entire team back in Fort Worth send their best and their congratulations. And thank you for that kind introduction. It's a great honor to be here on this very exciting day, and it's fun to see so many friends all together. And today I'm just here to say thanks. First, a million thanks to Mayor Nutter and to Council President Clarke for their leadership, without which today would not have been possible. It's that leadership that we saw from them throughout this process that is clearly a major factor in why Philadelphia is a place that American Airlines and other businesses want to be. And it truly is the world-class city that the mayor mentioned. I'd like to thank former Philadelphia Deputy Mayor Rina Cutler for her commitment to building a strong airport team and for all of her work in making this possible, and to thank John Elfrey for continuing those efforts. Special thanks to Mark Gale and his team at the airport. They also put in countless hours, many of those after hours, to pull this all together. And to all of you, thanks for listening. Thanks for having the patience to learn all that you did learn about the airline industry, all of which was necessary to get this done. And on a personal note, thanks for putting up with my occasional stubbornness. I'd also like to thank our union friends and partners, in particular the trade unions, the SEIU, and their leadership, for helping making Philadelphia and the airport a better place by working with us to establish higher wages and better working conditions for everyone. We're very excited about the prospect of continuing to work with you to develop the airport and to continue to take care of the people who work at the airport. And finally, thanks to the people of Philadelphia. First of all, for your business. We couldn't do it without you, and this wouldn't be a big American Airlines hub without the commitment and the faithful business of everybody in Philadelphia. But in particular, thanks for your welcome. We're not headquartered here, but we do everything we can to act like we are and to be a member of the community. But you've been so welcoming and so helpful and so supportive of first U.S. Airways and then the new American Airlines over a period of time. So thank you very much for that. When we look back on the process of negotiating this lease agreement, I hope that we'll all remember this as an experience that represented how truly great this city and region is. Everyone brought a different viewpoint to the table, and everyone was given equal respect and consideration. There was a lot of give and take, and everyone involved kept a singular focus throughout, building a strong airport that will benefit everyone who lives and works in Greater Philadelphia. That focus enabled us to reach a deal that benefits everyone, and we're proud to have been a part of it. None of this would have been possible without the presence of a strong airport and the work of the mayor and the council to continue to prioritize the airport, which allows this region to remain connected and competitive in an increasingly globalized world. Thanks to this agreement, we look forward to remaining a strong part of this community for years to come. And in closing, thank you once again for the opportunity. We truly appreciate our partnership with the City of Philadelphia and being Philadelphians. Thanks very much.
Time. there any press here? Okay. If there's a question from any member of the news media, I'd be glad to try to take one. Otherwise, we're just going to go out and celebrate. Anything? No? Looks like we're having a party. All right. Congratulations, everyone. Thank you very much. Right.